Hello friends, welcome to my channel. Today we are going to start analysis of different brands of cold drink, and it is very interesting. I hope you will also take interest. So what should be the aim? The aim is quantitative analysis of different brands of cold drink, and then apparatus required: the test tube holder, test tube stand, stopwatch, beaker, burner, pH paper, tripod stand, wire gauge, water bath and china dish. Now the chemical required: iodine solution, potassium iodide, sodium hydroxide, Phenyl A and B solution, lime water, concentrated HNO3, benedicate solution, ammonium molybdenate. Detection of pH. The pH paper is used to detect the solution is acidic or basic in nature. So, to detect the nature of the cold drink, first we take 1 or 2 drop of the sample of the cold drink of each brand and put on the pH paper. The change of the color pH paper noticed and compared with the standard pH scale as you can see on my slides. Then you can easily compare the pH levels with the different brands of the cold drink. Now the reference is the pH scales of the cold drink of a different brands are different. The pH scale show that each of the cold drink of a different brands are acidic in nature. The second is test for carbon dioxide. For the test of carbon dioxide, first we take the sample of each cold drink and pass it into the lime water. And we observe that the lime water turned milky. This is the sign of presence of carbon dioxide. Observation table. Name of the cold drinks, time taken. Here the time taken is how much time it take after passing through the lime waters. Then the conclusion. Inference: all the cold drinks contain carbon dioxide. The carbon dioxide dissolves in water to form carbonic acid, which is responsible for tangy taste of the cold drink. Third is test for glucose. To determine the presence of glucose, we use the Benedicate reagent. Few drop of Benedicate reagent added each of the cold drink in different test tube. The test tube heated for a few seconds and formed the reddish brown precipitate. Observation table. Name of the cold drinks and observation and conclusion. As you can see in my slides, the observation is reddish brown precipitate, means the glucose is present. Reference: all the sample give positive test for glucose with Benedicate reagent. That means all the cold drinks contain glucose. The fourth is test for glucose. For this test, we take a small sample of each cold drinks in the separate test tubes and add potassium iodide and sodium hydroxide solution. Then the test tube heated in a hot water bath for 30 minutes. Then we observe that a yellow precipitate, that is the indicator of presence of alcohol in the cold drink. Now the observation table. Name of the cold drinks, observation and conclusion. As you can see in this slide, the observation is yellow precipitate, means alcohol is present. Inference is all the cold drinks contain alcohol. The fifth is test for phosphate. For this test, we take a small sample of each cold drinks in a separate test tube, then add ammonium molybdenate and concentrating nitric acids and the solution heated for a few seconds, and then we observe that a canary yellow precipitate. Observation table. Name of the cold drinks, observation and conclusion. The observation: you observe that canary yellow precipitate, it's a sign of presence of phosphate. The inference is all the cold drinks contain phosphate. Result: after conducting several tests, all 4 brands of the cold drinks are acidic in nature and contain carbon dioxide, glucose, phosphate and alcohol. Coca-Cola is most acidic and Limca is least acidic of 4 brands of the cold drinks. Sprite contain maximum amount of CO2 and Fanta contain minimum amount of CO2. CO2 also responsible for the tangy taste of the cold drink.